Hello everybody, my name is the Deuteron Doctor, and today we're going to be talking about how to play the Painbrush. The Painbrush is a weapon that was introduced in the 4.0 update, Sizzle Season 2023. It is a heavyweight weapon with quite a decent bit of range for the class that it's in, which the class it's in is Brush, and it's an okay weapon overall. I wouldn't say that it's the best from what I've seen and what I've experienced while playing it, but it should be treated as basically the dynamo for paintbrushes. The paintbrush is pretty decent at painting overall. It has a decent amount of output, but not a lot of sustainability when it comes to its ink conservation and how easily or how hard it is to run out of ink on said ink tank. But it has pretty decent speed compared to the Octobrush and Ink Brush. It can keep up pretty well with both of those. Maybe not so much the Ink Brush, but more so the Octobrush. But either or, it's pretty decent. Anyways, the way you want to play this is kind of like a defensive / offensive weapon. It can kind of do both, given it has range and you can hit people really close to you. So it has a lot of push and pull potential when it comes down to holding your ground or gaining more ground in Splatoon 3. The curling bomb, best for offense. The wave breaker, again, can really do defense and offense, kinda. The best kind of play style in general that I've found success with as the paintbrush is basically just surprising your enemy and just smacking them twice or thrice. Pretty much all you need to do is just hide around corners, hide below them or hide somewhere above them, land on them and smack them twice and get out. It's the weirdest assassin weapon I've ever used because it's a heavy weapon, but you're supposed to get in and get out as fast as possible pretty much, just like the other brushes. But it doesn't lend you that mobility buff that a lot of the brushes have to do that. But it is the fastest time to kill brush, so it's kind of like can you not tap as fast as Octobrush and Inkbrush users? Well, you can still be an assassin, but we're gonna nerf your movement ability. So it's a little weird, but if you master it, I'm sure that you can get a lot of value on it. The kit for the paintbrush is the curling bomb and the wave breaker. The curling bomb is pretty useful, as in you can throw it around, get yourself somewhere a lot faster than with the roll of the paintbrush. But it comes at a cost of you are eating way more ink than you would during your roll for the paintbrush. So if you want more mobility and you want to just treat the curling bomb as a normal bomb, you can. Just make sure you put like Ink Saver Main on it so that you can use it for longer. But if you want to use the curling bomb as a curling bomb, use the sub equivalent of Ink Saver. The wave breaker is pretty easy to use. There's a couple ways that you can use it. First way, you can use it as an offensive tool. Place it down. The enemies 9 times out of 10, if you're in normal lobbies, are going to be distracted and they're going to try to break the wave breaker before. And because you have a 3-hit to 2-hit kill, depending on how close you are, it's pretty easy to punish people for attacking the wave breaker before they attack you. The other way you can use it is as a distractive tool, which I know this is technically the same as an offensive tool, but as offensive I meant like not only you can do the distraction thing, but you can place it down while you're pushing and it will help you get the push started and it'll keep your momentum pretty easily. Anyways, the recommended abilities for the paintbrush are going to be Ink Saver Main, Ink Saver Sub, Ink Recovery Up, Swim Speed Up, Sub Resistance Up, and Respawn Punisher. The reason I said Ink Saver Main is because, again, this thing runs out of ink extremely fast, and it just cannot keep up with competition unless it has better ink efficiency. Same thing with Ink Saver Sub. Now this is more if you want to use the curling bomb as a curling bomb and not just hold it and use it as a normal bomb. If you want to use it as a curling bomb, you're going to need Ink Saver Sub because it just eats up your ink. And plus your main weapon isn't as efficient as it can be if you're throwing out subs every 2 to 3 seconds. So that's going to help with your overall ink efficiency. Reason I said ink recovery up is because, again, the weapon is extremely terrible at keeping ink. So ink recovery up will not only offset the ink that your main uses, but also your sub, and it'll offset it faster and not just conserve the ink, but it will replenish it at a faster rate. Reason I said swim speed up is mostly because you just don't move fast with this weapon. You really just don't. So swim speed up is there to offset the penalty of swim speed that you get when you hold a heavyweight weapon. And I know I don't recommend it on all heavyweight weapons, but that's because this is literally a dynamo ink brush, so it needs movement. And it's funny, in my opinion, that it's been nerfed in movement out of everything. The reason I said sub resistance is because you get thrown a lot of subs with this weapon. Not because you can't destroy it, but because you can't push alone unless you have a secret route that you know how to take, or unless you already have an advantage in the fight. And it's very easy to get an advantage, but it's not always easy to get an advantage. So if you're being thrown a lot of if you're being thrown a lot of subs all at once, you can't really push into that. So that's why sub resistance up is there, to help you not only stay alive when people throw subs at you, but to at least give you some sort of viability when it comes to either resisting a push from bombs or resisting bombs in the pursuit of somebody. And the reason I said respawn Punisher is because this weapon just, if you can get close enough, it has just an absurdly fast kill rate. It can either 2-hit if you're close enough and hit your enemy with the brush itself, or 3-hit if you're at pretty much any range that it can reach. So it's pretty good ranged. It's pretty good at the range that it gives you, and it's pretty good in very close quarters. It can I think it even kills faster than the ink brush itself. So overall, it's a pretty decent weapon. I think that its kit doesn't service it too well. I think that the curling bomb could be swapped out for something better, like a fizzy bomb or a torpedo, to give it some sort of more viable use extended into the enemy backline, instead of just giving it a curling bomb, which it doesn't need because it already has great movement. And I think that if its ink efficiency was given a bit more leeway, I think that it could also be a pretty good weapon to defend and push with. Its special is great. I don't have any problems with its special, but overall, again, it's pretty decent. A little held back by its ink efficiency and sub. Anyways, my name is the Deuteron Doctor, and I will see you later. Bye.